In traveling around the school district and seeing teachers actually doing hybrid, I've got to see some really amazing things happening in these classrooms. And one of the things that I have seen is creating interactive Google Slide presentations that students can use for both notes and a teacher can use as an assessment tool to understand where our students are. Using Google Slides in an interactive way, more than just a presentation tool. So in this video, I want to explore how we can use Google Slides to create these interactive presentations. And this is going to be Teacher Tech on the Trail. I'm Dennis Lane. In traveling around the district, one of the teachers I got the privilege of seeing was Luann Boatwright, who's an 8th grade math teacher at Cedar Ridge Middle School. She was using Google Slides as an interactive note-taking device.
All right, so our directions, we're going to review these 4 concepts here, go through each one. You're going to be typing on your own document as we go through, so you have a nice review tool again.
So let's take a closer look at the slide that Luann is using in her class. So the first thing she's done here, she has a Google Slide presentation that she shared in the Google Classroom as an assignment for her students. And it's the exact same presentation that she's showing in her class and also remotely through Google Meet. The structure of this Google Slide is a little bit different than just a presentation. The first thing you're going to notice is all the text and graphics here are embedded in the background. This means the student cannot change them, and also the teacher has added some functions that allow for some interactiveness. If you notice these yellow boxes, those are actually text boxes where a student can type in an answer, and these circles over here are points that a student could drag over to actually graph. Now there's a couple reasons why using Google Slides in this manner is so revolutionary. Well, one, it allows students to directly take notes and record their own learning on the same material that's being presented to them in class. Secondly, that material that's being presented in class is going to be much more effective at increasing student learning because it's no longer passive. Students aren't just sitting listening to a lecture, but now they're actually interacting with that material as you are presenting.
Compute the output. So -2 squared is -2 times -2, which is +4. 4 minus 4 is 0.
And as you can see that while Luann is teaching, she is making changes to that Google Slide. And she's doing it in that editing screen that she can change it on the fly. And her students are doing that along with her. Now, because there's that increased functions of the interactive nature of things like those circles, she can move them around and students can demonstrate that learning in different ways and fill in those text boxes for their notes. Now, a student isn't just limited to the features of Google Slide that has been pre-built by Mrs. Boatwright. They can also use elements of Google Slide to add to their presentations. So for their notes, they could use lines or images or embed video to add additional information.
All right, now here I want us to create a new text box, and we're going to put it right about here. I want you to increase that font size, easier to read. Let's make it a 20. And let's put a note inside here to remind us how to check if it is a function or not a function. So what do you guys remember? What do we do for these?
The X value repeats number.
Yep. So if there are no repeating X values, then it is a function, right? If it does repeat, then it's not a function.
In the sequence of Mrs. Boatwright's class, this lesson was a test review day. Students could take these notes and take them home and study for an upcoming test. It was also, though, an assignment. Mrs. Boatwright used that Google Classroom assignment piece so that when students turned it in, they would both retain a copy of it and she would have a copy of it to see where the students were. That is where interactive Google Slides become so revolutionary. They're interactive, it's also a presentation, it's a measurement of student learning, and both you, the teacher, and a student have an artifact of learning to use for assessment. I know Mrs. Boatwright isn't alone in her use of these interactive Google Slides. And I think that any staff member who has tried them has seen that they could really be a game changer in the way that we are delivering instruction to our students. Now, in other videos, I'm going to go over how to build these interactive Google Slide presentations and show you how you can do this yourself. But in the meantime, I encourage you to try them. There's a lot of them out there, and they could really change the way that students are learning in our classroom. And as we move further into technology in our classrooms, finding ways to increase interaction is going to be a huge win for us. I'm Dennis Lane, and this has been Teacher Tech on the Trail.